Welcome. Take It Up with Jessica Lee. I'm with Alpana Prabhu, who is Director of Operations at ServiceNow,
Yes.
specifically the Customer Service Management product. And I know this is kind of new. It's like a 3-year-old product.
That is correct.
ServiceNow, of course, is well known in ITSM. You want to tell us about this new unit?
Not so new anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, incubated 3 years ago
Mm-hmm.
at our flagship conference, Knowledge, and that was May of 2016. I joined ServiceNow in July, and actually I joined for a different role. And the first time that's happened in my life, within 3 days I was told, okay, you get to be in operations for this newly formed business unit, Customer Service Management. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I was the sole person in operations then. And it was a new fledgling team,
Mm-hmm.
very good team, I must say. One of the dream teams I've worked for.
Ah, it's good to hear.
Yeah, there's something to be said about starting. The energy, the drive, the passion, the total focus, and the adrenaline. It's extremely attractive, and I loved it.
Good.
Still love it.
What do you do in the operation? What does that mean?
So what that means, I kind of look at operations as the wing beneath the wings role.
Mm-hmm.
You enable everybody tied to that product and set them up for success, and you ensure that the operating rhythm of that business unit and the momentum is kept.
Yeah.
And what does that translate to tactically? To bring a product to market, there are several things that need to be done. First and foremost, you must have a product.
Okay.
You must know who is this product serving.
Okay.
So who are the customers and the who want to buy it,
Right.
and for whom are you building it for? You must have people who need to sell this product, and are they equipped to sell this product? Are they enabled in the right manner? If there's a product, it needs to be implemented. Are your implementers enabled to implement the product? So the whole content enablement of these people who can bring your product to market is a vital part.
So you
Okay.
create the content like product knowledge.
I don't personally create the content. There are product managers who do.
Okay.
There are product marketing folks who do.
Okay.
And that content then gets flushed down to sellers,
Okay.
core sellers, partners who sell for us, implementers, and partners who implement for us.
So do you do the like piloting of it, proof of concept of the product on the operation side, or you talking about running the entire?
No, there are people who implement the product
Mm-hmm.
and work with customers to proof of concept. It depends on the customer's use case.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you buying this product? This is what the product does, but you're buying it for a particular business outcome.
Okay.
So there are people who take it, work with partners, or we have our own professional services organization. It's called Customer Outcomes today.
Okay.
They take the product to the customers and implement it for them per their use case.
Okay.
Okay, and my job, or from an operations perspective, the underlying infrastructure, the customer data, who our customers are, what are their timelines to implement,
Okay.
all that data needs to sit in systems.
Mm.
My team works closely with IT to automate that and enable our product success teams and our other teams who interact with customers to update our customer database. Because we must know who our customers are. It's very important to know who your customer is. Where are they in the life cycle of having purchased your product? Now they've bought it, they have deployed it.
Yes.
How are they using it? Very important to know how you're using it, because that then tells you whether they're going to continue using it. Are they using it in the right manner?
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. Are they using it in the right manner? And how can we mature the usage of it?
Mm.
Because you've invested heavily in it.
And because it's a SaaS product, you're able to see what's happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
For the customers who give us access to their usage data, we are able to see what's happening. And that data feeds teams who interact with customers. So if I'm a seller going back to the customer, you should be equipped with what the customer landscape is, what's the customer data telling you, and have those meaningful conversations with your customers.
Okay. So you're helping them to be a lot more successful because of the insights that you're
Yes,
gathering and
yes.
feeding back.
The first thing I asked when I joined this team is, where's the data?
Mm-hmm.
To me, data is king, queen, whatever you want to call it. I know it is what it is.
Yes.
And it's very rich, and getting insights from it, not just your usage data, even your business data. Who are you selling it to?
Yeah.
And as a new business unit evolves, you start seeing the patterns of who's buying, and then you start evolving your strategy as well. So data feeds strategy as well. Data insights do feed strategy.
Yes.
It enables us to focus. You know which business segments you want to go after, where your sweet spots are, and you start targeting those areas. So especially as you start planning your 3-year models for your business, it really helps us do that. So from an operations perspective, I hold the data infrastructure for the product. There's also release program management that my team does. So we have a product team. I sit in the product organization. So I have folks on the team who enable and help product managers to manage the release of that product. There's a lot of cross-functional touch points in operations within the product organization and outside. One of the key things that I did in my role was to build very strong relationships with my cross-functional operational counterparts, sales operations, marketing operations, financial planning and analysis, our professional service or customer outcomes organization, our channel operations. What happens is when you sit in a business operations kind of role, you straddle it end to end, but there are vertical functional organizations who have, remits. Sometimes there's overlap, and we have to build those strong relationships so we do not focus on the overlaps as much as everybody do their part. There's no need to reinvent the wheel when you see people having their full remit, so you partner with them. So collaborating and partnering with your operational counterparts, very important. Saves a lot of time, I can tell you that.
You have lessons learned, it sounds like you can share.
Yes, lessons learned. lot of lessons learned, I'll give you that. Good lessons learned.
Yes. You know, I find it very interesting that you actually stitched together programs to learn when before you joined ServiceNow to create your own MBA program.
Right. That is true. So, funnily enough, when I come from a financial accountancy and management background, and I veered into the computer field. And that's because my father said, you know what, you didn't get into your MBA there, why don't you try this new field? And A led to B led to C, and I found myself there. I liked it. I loved coding. Hello World, Kernighan and Ritchie, my God, iconic. One thing led to another. I found I had a penchant for analyzing. Soon enough, that led to leading large programs, transformational initiatives. I enjoy stitching things up together, connecting the dots. I don't know if you've played that game in kindergarten. You get dots and
you have to do it without taking the pencil off.
Who would have thought that activity is even valid today?
Yes.
In a different perspective, of course. And whatever I learned while working in different programs, it was very domain enriching because it doesn't fit just one vertical. Multiple verticals I got to work through. I had healthcare for almost 5 years when I was in Chicago. And like I said, one thing led to another. And then the thought came, what do I want to evolve into? And operations seemed to be the natural path. MBA, a thought, but life's priorities took over. And the urge and the desire was very strong. I said, what can I do differently instead of putting a sum of money to do the traditional MBA program? And I started earmarking topics that I thought would help me in my operational path. So the first thing I would say I got lucky that course happened at the right time. It was the Agile Business Modeling and Investments, which was taught by Stanford. And I went there. Professor Kurosawa, who taught that course, it was one of the most compelling and hands-on courses that I've ever done. And that was when I was in a little break between 2 jobs. I'm grateful for that time off, and the intensity and the manner in which he taught us, just amazing. The practical application of how do you model a business so that people want to invest in it, one of the best courses I've attended. Okay, so that was one. The other one was go to market. If you work in operations, you must know how you take a product or service to market. Again, Stanford.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stanford. And
so anyone can sign up for this class. You don't have to be in an MBA program.
No, you don't.
Okay.
And that was the other one. IoT caught my interest, and as actually so does blockchain. Have to explore that because this is where the future is, or is happening as we speak. Devices are talking.
Yes.
There's a lot of
collecting data.
Collecting data. Again, the best four-letter word these days, data. Okay. And I did that to learn more about the IoT space. Okay. Again, fabulous professor, Daniel Elazare, just fabulous. Then I decided I needed to learn more about strategy. So Harvard Business Online has a course on strategy by Clay Christensen. That's the name for strategy. One of the things that Clay says in his course, so that came out of the course, NBA basketball players, there's a lot of talent. Does everybody get to play in the NBA? No. So what happens to those people who have the talent but just didn't get the opportunity to go and play for the NBA? Where do they go? Do they give up? No, they don't. They go and play for leagues in Europe. They go and play leagues in South America, Middle East, and they do. So that was very enlightening for me, and it kind of resonated with how I saw learning. You don't have to follow the traditional path. You can learn in different ways, and you can stitch it up together. Not to say that I might not consider an MBA later, but this set me on the track towards that.
Right. Yeah, I think not everybody has, for whatever variety of reasons, can be in an MBA program. And
right.
So the learning is online, it's available. Pick and choose the things that you think will help towards your goal. So first you have to have a goal, and you had a goal. You knew you wanted to be in operations.
Yes.
So these are the classes that would help you to take that path.
Right. The other thing I did, IDEO is another company in the Bay Area. They had a course on storytelling. How do you come across by, how do you communicate via the mechanics of a story? Very important. Because when you work in operations, it can get very dry sometimes because there's a lot of data. But how do you tell the story?
Yes.
That's very important too. So
make it engaging.
Make it engaging, making it fun, and making it relatable. And I took that as well. So the journey continues. It doesn't stop.
Yes.
There will be many more courses. So yes, I've been having fun designing my own little MBA program.
Right. Excellent. So that's good to, that the audience hears the story that you actually went through this path, and how is it going? Do you think that it has opened up opportunities for you?
It's broadened and widened my perspective. It will open opportunities for me.
Yeah. Well, ServiceNow is a great company.
Yes, it's. When I joined, we were 5,000 people strong. Now it's about 8,000 plus, and it's continuously growing. So I expect it to have more opportunities. It has to. Where we were when we joined, when I like 3 years back, and where we are now, it's
1,000 more employees per year.
Yeah, it's a very strong, growing company, I would say.
And what is the culture?
The culture, I would say, we are innovative. Okay. As I look at the plethora of products that we have, our motto is that we make the world of work better for you. And that, when you just look at the spectrum of products we have, any enterprise that wants to digitize itself, okay, and make the internal workings smoother for its employees, why wouldn't you look at ServiceNow is the thought that comes to mind. And it's not just because I'm an employee of ServiceNow I say that. I just look at the products that we have. You're a large company. You want to make sure that your employee experience is great. The moment they walk into the door and you're onboarding them, it's very smooth, it's seamless, it's automated. You're not waiting for weeks to get your laptop, stuff like that. You don't know where something is. That whole experience is digitized for you. So when you walk in, your employee experience is fabulous.
And you can be more productive, right?
More productive.
Yeah.
You're focused on your outcome rather than the things that the little noise that you don't have to worry about. Yeah. Every company has customers. You are there because you have a product or a service to serve someone.
Yeah.
So customer service is literally it's brand loyalty, right? It's you're working with them for that, and to serve your customer, you need a product that will help your agents, your teams provide customer service. And when we say customer service, we don't say it's one person's job or one team's job. We say it's every department in the company. It's your job to be in that customer service mode. The customer service product that I work for enables companies to do that.
Yes.
We have, like you said, IT, our IT flagship product was IT service management based on ITIL principles. That suite of IT products, every company has an IT department, right? And they spend time for all the back-end infrastructure stuff, including business systems that they put up for you and all that. How do you make their lives easier to serve you internal employees better? You have our IT flagship products. So when we say we make you work better, we really mean it. Okay, and now when you look at it and you understand why it's growing at the scale it's growing, it just makes total sense. Okay, and our motto, and when you're coming back to your question on culture, it's a very customer-first culture.
Yeah.
Okay, I like what our CEO says. He says staying humble and hungry, very important. Need to have fire in the belly. Okay, humility, it's a much admired trait. Okay, and we need to have purpose in what we do. So these are the things that mark us, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's powerful. Humble, hungry, and purpose.
Purpose. The other thing he says is servant leadership. I love that. We are here to, it's almost like I tell my team, we are here, bulk of our day, we spent our time with people who are not family. They kind of become your professional working family, right?
Yeah.
And it's important that we have fun and we are at ease.
Yeah.
And we feel we are in a safe environment to be our authentic selves.
Yes.
I feel that we have that in our team.
Ah.
And that matters to me a lot, being able to be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's no fun.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, so that's the culture at ServiceNow.
And how diverse, talk about diversity and inclusion.
So here's my take on diversity and inclusion. I would say we're very aware of diversity and inclusion. We have Pat Vadors, our talent officer. She takes care of everything HR, and I would say we are one of the strongest HR teams ever. Okay, and we have a diversity and inclusion program. When you say diversity and inclusion, it veers towards gender diversity, the different lifestyle preferences diversity. For me, it's all about neurodiversity. And I know neurodiversity is used for people with neurological sometimes disorders, sometimes
also ethnic diversity.
Ethnic diversity.
Economic background.
Right. For me, it's when I look at onboarding a person on my team, it matters to me how you think, how differently you think, and there's something to be said for people who don't agree with you. I think it's extremely powerful because it spawns conversations. You have to listen though, and you both take away something from it. It's not the purpose of converting someone with a different thought process to your way of thinking. You leave it with something to reflect upon. And that to me is neurodiversity, where everybody is thinking and bringing their thoughts to the table. They're not afraid to voice it.
Yeah.
And when you leave, there's a common, we've all agreed to something, but we've given something of ours to that conversation. There's something to be said for everybody thinking alike. It builds a sense of comfort. But there's a lot to be said for discomfort. Discomfort pushes you forward.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So what's exciting for you? What's ahead that you're really aiming to achieve?
I intend growing more in the path of operations. Okay. Dream roles, if you ask me, I definitely want to head operations. Okay. And
for all the products, or
that's
the higher the better? The bigger the responsibility, the better?
I would say bigger the responsibility, and I don't like talking in terms of titles because that's an outcome. I see burdens when I see people, I take that back. When I see people with C-level roles, I see the burden they bear, okay, which means they're capable of bearing it. For me, it's about span of responsibility. How much more can I do with what I know, and how much more can I give to a team or an organization? And are you willing to take it? I may want it, but are you willing to take it? Right? And in fact, I remember a conversation long back when I was talking to somebody and I said, we're all diamonds. We are diamonds. We have different facets.
Yes.
It's up to the jeweler to put it in that right setting. So, let's see where this path goes.
Well, I see brightness ahead for you.
For all.
And for all of us.
For all of us.
It's been wonderful to have you come here and share what's going on, your journey, your path to where you are now. Thanks for watching. Take it up with Jessica Lee, Alpana from ServiceNow.
Thank you. This was fun. And thank you for having me over here. I appreciate the opportunity.